47.
47 and
27. And at 27. That's 27.
oh, it ends at 27.
Yeah.
All right. I was saying 37. All right.
All right, so we're going to pick it up with Genesis 47 and verse 1. Genesis 47, verse 1.
Genesis chapter 47, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Then Joseph came and told Pharaoh and said, brethren, and their flocks and their herds and all that they have are come out of the land of Canaan. And behold, they are in the land of Goshen.
Right.
And he took some of his brethren, even 5 men, and presented them unto Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto his brethren, what is your occupation? And they said unto Pharaoh, thy servants are shepherds, both we and also our fathers.
Right, so the understanding was, Joseph told his brethren that tell Pharaoh that you're what? You're a shepherd. Why? Because shepherds were what to the Egyptians? Abomination, right? So they wouldn't want to have us around them. They want to have us away up in Goshen. Because all the time, the Father never wanted us to what? Intermingle with these other nations. Because what happens when you intermingle with these other nations, you start what? Having an interracial marriages and all that kind of. Listen, he wanted Israel to be over there in Goshen and Egypt over here. Okay, read on.
Verse 4. And they said moreover unto Pharaoh, for to sojourn in the land are we come. For thy servants have no pasture for their flocks.
Right.
For the famine is sore in the land of Canaan. Mm-hmm. Now therefore we pray thee that thy servants dwell in the land of Goshen. Mm-hmm. And Pharaoh spake unto Joseph, saying, thy father and thy brethren are come unto thee. The land of Egypt is before thee. In the best of the land, make thy father and thy brethren to dwell.
Right.
In the land of Goshen, let them dwell.
Right.
And if thou knowest any men of activity among them, then make them rulers over my cattle. And Joseph brought in Jacob his father, and set him before Pharaoh. And Jacob blessed Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto Jacob, how old art thou? And Jacob said unto Pharaoh, the days of the years of my pilgrimage are 130 years. Few and evil have the days of the years of my life been, and have not obtained unto the days of the years of the life of my fathers in the days of their pilgrimage. And Jacob blessed Pharaoh, and went out from before Pharaoh. And Joseph placed his father and his brethren, and gave them a possession in the land of Egypt, in the best of the land, in the land of Ramses, as Pharaoh had commanded.
Right.
And Joseph nourished his father and his brethren and all his father's household with bread according to their families. And there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very sore, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by the reason of famine. And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan for the corn which they bought. And Joseph brought the money unto Pharaoh's house. And when the money fell in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence?
Right.
For the money failed. And Joseph said, give your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle if money fail. And they brought their cattle unto Joseph. And Joseph gave them bread in exchange for the horses and for the flocks and for the cattle of the herds.
So Joseph was thinking 3 steps ahead. All right. So remember when the first famine came, the people went and bought, right, the food. So when the people's money failed, meaning they don't have money, then they end up having to bring their cattle, and Joseph gave them back the money that they bought the food with. So we had all this extra money, right? So what? He was thinking 3 steps ahead, all right? Always winning in whatever transaction he was doing in Pharaoh's house. He was winning every transaction. So now he gave them money for their cattle, for them to turn around and have to buy again what? The bread and the things that they need, the necessities. Okay? So this is what you call like a cycle of finance. You create a financial cycle created here. Okay? People need, you feed the need, you get paid. They need money? Okay, sell me something. You give them back the money for them to come back around and pay them anyway for the food that they need in the first place. Right? That's like what we do today, right? Right? We have to go that full circle. We have to work, we get food, we got, we have to go back, work again to get more money, to get more food. It's a cycle. All right? But who wins? The rulers win. The ones on top win. They get their money from the masses. Okay? If they get $1 from everybody, listen, billion people here, right? Yearly, or daily, really, right? So,
And for the donkeys, and he fed them with the bread for all their cattle for what year? Right. For that year.
For that year.
When that year was ended, they came unto him the second year. They said unto him, we will not hide it from my Adawan, how that our money is spent. My Adawan also have our herds of cattle.
Right, so they got to the point where, all right, now you got our cattle and our money, and we still need more food, right?
My Adawan also has our herds of cattle. There is not aught left in the sight of my Adawan for our bodies and our land.
You can use Lord in that sense, because it's not talking about.
Yeah.
So it's talking about Lord as in ruler.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Wherefore shall we die? Verse 19. Wherefore shall we die before thine eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread, and we and our land will be servants unto Pharaoh, and give us seed that we may live and not die, that the land be not desolate.
Right.
And Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh. For the Egyptians sold every man his field, because the famine prevailed over them. So the land became Pharaoh's.
Right, so then what? Now the kingdom, Pharaoh's kingdom has grown. Because now the people, they need food. They don't sold cattle. They still need food now, the third year. So now what? Take our land. We'll sell you the land, right? Just give us food. So that's like take a loan. All right, I'll give you this amount of money for your land. Even though you still own the land, but I own your land. All right? And I give you money for you to do what you're going to do with that money. You're going to come back to me and buy food from me anyway. Right? So you ain't here and losing. Right? They winning 4 or 5 times over. All right? That's how these cycles, these financial cycles are made. All right? And you got to constantly, because you have necessities. What's the necessities of man? Food and shelter. Raiment. Right? Food, shelter, raiment. You got those necessities. So whoever owns those necessities own the people. Right? You own the people, then you are owning the land. The people can't hold possessions if they don't have food, shelter, and raiment. Right? They got to come to you for everything. Right? So what he was creating is the first mega power financial system, right? Was coming out of Egypt. Okay. But the people had to buy for the necessities of life from Egypt. Okay, and what they trade for that, everything they had. You're trying to survive. You're not worrying about your land that you inherited. You're trying to survive. You're trying to eat. Take the land. I need the food. All right. So this is what he was doing. Read on.
Verse 21. And as for the people, he removed them to cities from one end of the borders of Egypt, even to the other end thereof.
Right. So he put the people in cities. Okay. He created cities. So you can see how Egypt is growing right now. It's expanded. So Joseph actually made Egypt out to what it was. He built that place. It was small. Pharaoh's Egypt was small. But now because of the famine of all the lands, and because he moved wisely, he was able to expand Egypt and start to build cities and put the people in quarters where they would live, separate them from the cattle, from where you kept the livestock. And now when they wanted food, what did they have to do? What do we have to do when we need food? We have to go to Publix, right? Or the Winn-Dixie or the Walmart or whatever. So he's creating industries. He's taking the ability of these places to be self-sufficient, and now they all got to depend on Pharaoh. They all got to depend on Egypt, right? You had your own land, your own cattle, you raised it, your own vegetation, you fed your people and your little. No. The famine came, you didn't have none, so you had to what? So the need of the people, he capitalized on the need of the people. All right? And in so made Egypt to expand and grow mighty on the earth. Okay? So the Egyptians, the people of Mizraim, the original Egyptians can't even take credit for the power of Egypt. Who built up Egypt? Joseph. Right? Which is a Hebrew. The same people that built up America. The Hebrews, right? We are the ones that have built up all the great societies on this earth. If you look into the history, you're going to find an Israelite somewhere up in there, calling the shots, making it happen, building up the thing. They call it the Dark Ages. This is when Europe was built up, right? They call it the Dark Ages. Why do they call it the Dark Ages? Right? Because the dark people ruled. Okay. After that came what? The Renaissance period, right? Where Esau took over all the structures and things that we built. Right? That's why you had the Moors and things of that sort trying to raise up and say, wait a minute, this was our stuff, right? But it wasn't going to work. Esau was taking over. Mosai gave Esau the land. He gave Esau the whole earth. He wasn't stopping them. All right? But they were trying to. All right? They were trying to. So in our history, you realize that we were everywhere building up all these great nations. Okay? And we were going the other day, you look at the old pictures of the samurai, right? Which was the ancient warriors that expanded the lands of Moab. And the samurai had afros and wide noses, right? The statues. You see that they were what? They were Hebrews. They weren't no Moabite and Ammonites, right? Right? Yeah, of course. Scripture.
Hebrews 1:13. I mean, Exodus.
Exodus 1:13.
Yeah.
What's that say?
Building. How they have us building up their nation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, hold on. Get Exodus 1:13. Oh, you at Genesis. Get Exodus 1:13.
Exodus chapter 1, verse 13.
Uh-huh.
And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor.
Right.
And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage.
Right.
In mortar and in brick and in all the manner of service in the field.
Right.
All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor.
Right. So what they made us rigorously build up their kingdom. But what I'm showing you here in Genesis is that we established the very Egypt that we end up having to build. We established it. Why? Because Joseph was the one calling the shots. Right? He was the one calling. He was the one that built up Egypt. That gave Pharaoh the riches and the power that he ended up possessing. He got that off of the wisdom of Joseph. All right, so they can't even take credit for their great kingdom because really Joseph was what made it so great. All right, so let's go back to Genesis.
Genesis chapter 47, verse 22.
Uh-huh.
Only the land of the priest bought he not, for the priest had a portion assigned them from Pharaoh, and did eat their portion which Pharaoh gave them. Wherefore they sold not their lands.
Right.
Then Joseph said unto the people, Behold, I have bought you this day and your land for Pharaoh. Lo, here is seed for you, and ye shall sow the land.
Come on.
And it shall come to pass in the increase that ye shall give the fifth part unto Pharaoh, and the fourth part shall be your own, for seed of the field, and for your food, and for them of your households, and for food for your little ones.
Right, so see how Joseph flipped it now. He then turned around, right, after getting everybody's land, and gave the land over to who? right? To sow seed on the land. So then now we have captured their land, we're gonna cultivate the land. We're gonna bring them now when the increase come back, when the Most High stops the famine, he had small farms, now we have massive farms to then produce massive amounts of food. Okay, so he was always, if you look at his economic, how he built, how he multiplied the riches of Egypt, show you that what we were very economically minded. You know what I mean? That spirit of economics was upon him as well. All right, read on.
Verse 25. And they said, Thou hast saved our lives. Let us find grace in the sight of our Lord, and we will be Pharaoh's servant.
Right.
And Joseph made it a law over the land of Egypt unto this day, that Pharaoh should have the fifth part, except the land of the priests only.
Right. So now, what does it mean, the fifth part? What does that mean? That's right. That's 20%. Taxes. Right? So that the Pharaoh gets 20% of whatever you produce. Because ultimately, all that land belonged to Pharaoh anyway. Right? And he gave it back to you for you to produce, and now give him back 20%. Right? Taxes, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not really crazy because that's the way we live today. You see your check, right? You see all that stuff coming out of it, right? Taxes, income tax. You know, they claim to be saving Social Security for you, but that's another joke. Right? That's another joke. So, you know, this is the structure that you see being built right here in the scriptures, right? Under Joseph's influence in Egypt, you know?
Verse 26, and Joseph made it a law over the land of Egypt unto this day, that Pharaoh should have the fifth part, except the land of the priests only, which became not Pharaoh's.
Right, so the land where the priests were, right, they didn't have to give the fifth part, right? To this day, what do they say the church is what? Tax what? Tax exempt, right? It's tax exempt to this day. So that's showing what these things started from back then. All right, and these were the churches throughout all the Egypt, whatever guys they serve. This has nothing to do with, you know, when they say the priests, they ain't talking about Levites. Don't get it confused. These are priests amongst these nations. Okay, this was their priests. Their priests were tax exempt. They didn't have to give a portion to the Pharaoh. Okay, so that's not something that just came up in America. They learned this as they learned and they studied our history. Okay, so that understanding was established by Joseph in Egypt. Okay, that what you would have today, what they call it, a 501c3. Yep. Right, tax exemption form that you fill out if you're a religious organization. That was established by Joseph, right, in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? So that's nothing new. Right? You will learn. Even when we was out there last week, police rolled on us. We out there doing the works, right? So we out there teaching. Police rolls on us. So I'm talking to the police officer on the side. I said, "What are you guys even teaching, right?" So I said, "We establishing the truth according to the Bible, that we the real Jews, and that the commandments in the Bible are not for religion, but they are the foundation of all civilization, right?" And he was like, so he said, he's an Edomite cop. And, you know, he listening, you know, they act like, you know, they always act proud, right? But you talk to him, he listening, he said, you know what? I see that, right? He says, you know what, you know, because, you know, our system is really based off of what the Bible says. Yeah. I said, that's right. It's called a judicial system. That's what you're supposed to be enforcing. Right? Right? That's what he asked. You got a flyer? I gave him a flyer. All I was trying to do was prevent Sandra from getting a ticket. You know what I'm saying? Because he was parked illegally. So, I mean, we all both was supplanted. We had different things. I friend him up because I'm like, man, this guy's trying to get, he going to get a tow the man. I'm like, nah, he ain't towing that. I'm going to talk out of this. Right? So we got to use wisdom. Right? We had him leaving there. He ended up sitting there and what? Protecting us. and sit there. We had a police escort for the whole night. I did teaching. The word went out. Glorious. People was fed out there. Okay, and we kept teaching. Out there we was in Woodwood, right? And we kept teaching. All right, so sometimes you gotta, use this truth, man. Sometimes we looking for it. We're not making no excuse. The truth is powerful enough. That's all you gotta arm yourself with is the truth. And you gotta use wisdom. There's certain truths that have a certain best time to talk about. Right? Right now you gotta deal with, you agree with your adversaries, right? Quickly. So I kind of, worked him over that. What he was good. Right? You know what I'm saying? He's like, man, I'm not against you. I'll keep going and teaching. Now, man, we teaching that this kingdom gonna be destroyed. America gonna be destroyed, right? As the white man go into slavery, Esau sitting right there, like, teach on, man, teach on. Is he even listening anymore? His whole spirit was taken, boy. I said, man, your whole spirit is messed up, man. Well, that's it. Listen, this is how we understand how powerful the Most High really is. His word is. He said his word is like a hammer. You know what I mean? We got to use his word. We can come and try to make excuses and say, oh man, we didn't know the sign. We didn't see the sign. I didn't say that. I said, yeah, we saw the sign. And you parked anyway. It was closest to taking the stuff out the bank, right? It's the truth, right? But listen, when you give them enough truth, you can't do that. We start shucking and I call shucking and jiving, making excuses, right? Then they overmaster you. But you stay on that truth and you come with the word of the Most High, you can't do nothing with that. You gotta back down. You gotta back down. You say, these guys, they're sure what they're saying and what they're doing. You know what I mean? And that goes for all walks of life, aspects. It's your job, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? Don't make excuses, man. Say, you can't be there because you keep the Shabbat. And I keep the Sabbath holy. And I commune with the brethren on the Sabbath as it is written in the Holy Scriptures. That's going to be, for some, it's going to blow them away at first, but after a while they get, I respect that. You know what? I respect that. No, I'm going to keep you off the schedule on Saturdays. Okay? Yeah, I know you will. Right? Thus saith the Most High. All right? Thus saith the Most High. You got to put that word out there. And don't be afraid. Right? I mean, the fear that's in you is in you, man. It's not, the Most High ain't scared. Right? He ain't scared, so why are you scared? Right? Read.
That's it.
That's it. 27?
Well, I got to read 27?
Yeah, read verse 27.
All right. Genesis chapter 47, verse 27.
Mm-hmm.
And Israel dwelt in the land of Egypt,
right,
in the country of Goshen. And they had possessions therein, and grew and multiplied exceedingly.
Right. So what? Joseph made sure they had possessions, and they grew exceedingly. They had the land so they could cultivate and grow their crops and take care of their cattle, and they grew exceedingly. You know how Israel is. We have children, man. We keep multiplying, right? So they grew so exceedingly, they passed the population of the Egyptians, right? And then, that's when we go to the next portion next week. We'll go into that, how we passed their population, right? And we grew so quickly. Okay, so let's get the half Torah portion. Since we finished the portion a little early, we're going to get the half Torah portion. Those of you that don't have it, let me know if you need it. These are the Torah portions, okay? Right? These are the portions. Every year we go through the portions, okay? We go through the whole Torah every year. From tabernacles to tabernacles, we go through the whole by way of portion, okay? So then you also have the half Torah portions, which are going into the prophets, okay? And then you have the gospel portions, which is now the New Testament. So the half Torah portion for this week is Ezekiel 37 and 15 through verse 28. Verses 15 to 28 in Ezekiel 37. So we get Ezekiel 37. So if you need a Torah portion, just let us know. We'll give you the list after service.
Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 15. And the word of the Most High came again unto me, saying, Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions.
Right.
Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions. And join them one to another unto one stick,
Right.
and they shall become one in thy hand.
They shall become what?
One in thy hand.
So a lot of people say, why you go around with that chart for the tribes? Right? This is the prophecy or the instruction that was given to us, that all the 12 tribes should be listed as one nation. Yeah, again. Okay, all the 12 tribes to be listed as one nation. The nation was going to be brought back together. Because prior to that, the nation was what? Split into two. You had the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. But it was always prophesied that it would become one once again. Read on.
Verse 18. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, wilt thou not show us that thou meanest by this? By these?
So the people are going to say, what does it mean by you listing the 12 tribes on this stick, on this chart? Why are you doing this? Read on.
Say unto them,
right?
Thus says the Most High Power.
Come on.
Behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is the hand of Ephraim,
right,
and the tribes of Israel, his fellows, that will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah,
right,
and make them one stick.
And make them what?
One stick.
And make them one stick. Make them one nation again. So that's the reason why we go around with our 12 tribes listed. Because the Father prescribed us to what? Make the nations, make us one nation again. We've been separated from each other. Okay. But the Father is bringing us back together. Read on.
And they shall be one in mine hand.
Right. And where?
In mine hand.
Right. In the hand of the Most High, we become one. Okay. So this is the Father's work. When we're calling all the 12 tribes of Israel back together, that's the Father's work. All right. We ain't know that they call it one tribe. Just concerned with the tribe we are or whatever case. All 12 tribes ought to be brought back together. Everybody understand that? That's the work. That's part of the work. First, we got to wake them up, and then we got to bring us together. All right. So that's why there's no divisions of tribes. All right. We have our tribes, but our tribes are to come together. Okay. Read on.
Verse 20. And the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thy hand before their eyes. And say unto them, Thus says the Most High Power, Behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen.
Right? From where?
From among the heathen.
Right. He doesn't want us to be what? Joined with the heathen. Right? He said, I'm going to take the children of Israel from among the heathen. Separated. Okay. Just like he brought us in Egypt and said, no, put them in Goshen. Separated. We went over scriptures about him severing us from the nations. We went over scriptures about for us to come out of her, come away from these nations. Come out of their philosophies, their religions, their ideologies, their holidays, everything. Come out of all of that. And come back to the Father. Right? Read on.
Whether they be gone, and will gather them on every side, and bring them unto their own land.
And bring them where?
Unto their own land.
He's going to bring us back to our own land. This is talking about the kingdom being established of heaven. So if we are going to be gathered from the nations and brought to our own land, this is the kingdom, how are the nations going to be in the kingdom? How are they going to be saved? It doesn't make any sense. For somebody to say the nations can be saved, man, you don't even understand what saved means. Because we're being saved from the nations. So how can the nations be saved? Who are you being saved from?
All the hands and heels.
Right? Read on.
Verse 22. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mounts of Israel.
Come on.
And one king shall be king to them all.
Right, one king. What's that one king? What's the name of that one king? That's right, Mashiach Yahushua. One king shall be king of us all. Read on.
And one king shall be king of them all. And they shall be no more two nations.
Right.
Neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all.
At all. Read on.
Neither shall they defile themselves anymore with their idols.
Right, no more idol worship. No more wickedness, man. We're gonna be one nation forever. That's it. No more two kingdoms. This tribe, that tribe. We warring against tribe, warring with each other. You read about our history. Tribes used to war with one another. All right. One time, everybody was up against Benjamin. Right? Try to damn eradicate Benjamin. Right? All right. There was wars amongst the tribes. All right. Hold on to get Hosea 1 and 10. Read Hosea 1 and 10.
Hosea 1 and 10.
Yeah.
Hosea chapter 1 verse 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sands of the sea,
Come on.
which cannot be measured nor numbered.
Right.
And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people,
Right.
there shall it be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power.
Come on.
Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together,
Gather where?
together,
Gather together. Read on.
and appoint themselves one head.
One head. That's what we just read about in Ezekiel. We're going to appoint ourselves one head. Read on.
And they shall come up unto the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel.
Right. Great shall be the days of Jezreel. So what is the day that we are reestablished as a kingdom once again? Great shall be those days. So that's what we're looking for. That's what we're working towards. That's what all the schools throughout the four corners of the earth. This is the mission. Okay. The mission should be to what? Call Jacob back. Right? What does the servant of the Most High do? I need verse. I need verse. What does the servant of the Most High do? What times I pull this scripture? What is the scripture? What scripture is it? Let's get it again. Isaiah 49:5. Isaiah 49:5.
Isaiah chapter 49 verse 5.
Uh-huh.
And now says the Most High,
Uh-huh.
that formed me from the womb, to be his servant.
To be what?
His servant.
In order to be the Most High servant, you have to do this. Read.
To bring Jacob again to him.
That's it. All you're doing is bringing Jacob back to the Most High. That's your service. Everything you're doing is to bring forth that end result. But you can't bring somebody else to the Most High if you're not brought yourself to the Most High first.
Right.
So the first Jacob you need to save is yourself. Right? Save yourself first. Right? Like they say on the airplane, right? Put your mask on first. Then help somebody put theirs on. If you help somebody else and you don't put yours on, you might end up killing both of y'all. Okay? You save yourself. Get yourself right, and then we're going to get our people right. Everybody understand that? Right. We got to be the first receivers of this great knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Okay? Where you at?
Finish fine.
Go ahead.
Though Israel be not gathered,
Uh-huh.
yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of the Most High.
Right. Even if Israel not listening, they're not following, but you still going to be glorious in the eyes of the Most High. Why? Because you did what the Father told you to do. All right? Give me Jeremiah, the 3rd chapter. 3 and 15.
Jeremiah chapter 3 verse 15.
Uh-huh.
And when I give you pastors according to my heart,
Right?
which shall feed you with the knowledge and understanding.
Come on.
And it shall come to pass,
Mm-hmm.
when ye be multiplied and increase in the land,
Right?
in those days, said the Most High, they shall say no more, the ark of the covenant of the Most High, neither shall it come to mind, neither shall they remember it, neither shall they visit it, neither shall that be done anymore.
Right?
At that time they shall call Jerusalem the throne of the Most High.
Right? They said, what they call Jerusalem what?
The throne of the Most High.
They're going to call Jerusalem the throne of the Heavenly Father. Okay? So we are learning and we're getting understanding. And we're to be gathered together back to our land, Jerusalem, where we're going to rule this earth in righteousness. All right? This is the promise that was given unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and then confirmed in Jacob, that the children of Israel shall rule this earth. So we got to be prepared. We got to be in order. How are we going to set orders and give orders and we're not in order? Right? That's backwards. We can't do that. All right? We don't.
Verse 17. At that time they shall call Jerusalem the throne of the Most High, and all nations shall be gathered unto it.
And all the nations will come, when they go to serve the Most High, they're going to serve you in order to serve the Most High. You are the head. Right? In them serving you, they can serve the Most High. They can't serve the Most High without coming through you. Right? Just like we can't go to the Most High without going through Christ. Come. We got to go through Mashiach Yahushua. We got to go through the Son of the Most High to get to the Father. These nations got to go through what? The children. Right? To get to the Mashiach Yahushua, to get to the Father. Okay? So there's no jumping, there's no circumventing the children of Israel. They can't act like they're the same level with the children of Israel. Okay? Read on.
To the name of the Most High, to Jerusalem, neither shall they walk any more after the imaginations of their evil heart.
Right, come on.
In those days, the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel.
You see that? We just read it. That's why the two sticks was one. The house of Judah shall walk with the children of Israel. What does that mean? The northern and southern tribes shall be gathered together. Okay, that's what it keeps alluding to. Right? That's the future. All our tribes will be together. That's why we have the stick with all the 12 tribes together. Okay, read on.
Okay. And they shall come together out of the land of the north to the land that I have given for an inheritance unto your fathers.
So where's the land of the north? Where we currently right now? We're in North America. Where the mass exodus is going to come out of North America. Okay, this is the land of the north in which we dwell. Okay, so when we read, my God, drop that, give me Jeremiah 14. What's that? Brain freeze right there. Jeremiah 14.
That brought the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt.
Right.
But the Most High liveth that brought the children of Israel from the land of the north.
Right.
And from all the lands whether he had driven them. Bring them again to their own land that I gave unto their fathers.
Right. So this is all through the scripture. That we're going to be gathered together and brought back to our land. All right. But somebody might say, well, that's the Old Testament. Christ came. Not everybody can be saved. All right? You know, the Messiah came. He came to do away with all that. Right? Let's see if that's the case. Romans.
Right.
You know. 9:1.
Romans chapter 9, verse 1. I say the truth in Hamashiach. I lie not.
Right.
My consciousness also bears me witness in the Holy Spirit.
Come on.
That I have a great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart.
Right.
Myself were accursed from a Mashiach for my brethren.
For who?
For my brethren.
For my brethren, you know.
My king.
What's going to happen to us as a people? He knew that the Romans were going to come down and kick us out of Jerusalem and with great slaughter and murder, and that we were going to flee into Egypt. He was shown all these things, right? So he knew what was about to go down. So he was great heavy-minded about seeing the women and his children and everybody being slaughtered and knowing that this is going to come to pass. You know?
Who are Israelites?
Who are what?
Israelites.
You know?
To whom pertaineth the adoption,
right?
And the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law,
right?
And the service of the Most High.
And the service of the Most High, come on.
And the promises.
And the promises, you know.
Whose are the fathers and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Hamashiach came.
Christ came for them. Right? Who concerning the flesh, Christ came. Okay. Read on.
Who is overall, most high blessed forever.
Right.
Amen.
That's right. Most high blessed forever. Romans 11, right? Did you just ask him? I'm gonna look at that in a moment. Romans 11. Read that. 1.
Romans chapter 11, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
I say then, has the Most High cast away his people?
Read on.
Most High forbid.
That means no. Read on.
For I also am an Israelite, of the seed of Abraham,
Right?
of the tribe of Benjamin.
Come on.
Most High has cast away his people. Wait, Slaki.
Do it again.
Most High hath not cast away his people,
Good.
which he foreknew.
Come on.
Would ye not that the scriptures say of Elias, how he maketh an intercession to the Most High against Israel,
right,
saying, Adawan, they have killed thy prophets and digged down thy altars,
right,
and I am left alone. But what saith the answer of the Most High unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men.
How many thousand?
7,000 men.
Come on.
Who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal.
Right.
Even so then, also there's remnant
thus saith the Most High. We got to come back. Y'all brothers got to get right. Y'all talking to people during the day, during the week, on the phone call. Listen, man, we equals, we Israelites. That remnant there keeps us. Right? The remnant is a small amount. If you're looking for a massive amount of people, that's not what the Most High is dealing with. He's dealing with the remnant. Small groups. That's what's going to sincerely bring forth this change. Bring forth this repentance. Bring forth this kingdom. That's what the Father did. All right. So now, what was scripture do you call Matthew's? Mark
13. 13, 24 to 27.
Okay.
Did there?
Mark 13, 24.
Mark chapter 13, verse 24. After that tribulation, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light. And the stars of heaven shall fall.
Right.
And the powers that are in heaven shall be shaken.
And you see that now already started. The stars of heaven is falling, the powers are shaken. Those that are in rulership, those that are in high stature, they're falling. Right? The government's all twisted up right now. They fighting amongst themselves. It said, a nation that divided against itself cannot stand. All right? The nation is well divided. The government is divided more than it's ever been. Right? And these stars have been falling left and right. We're going to talk about those that are high stature. Those who are looked upon as great men, great women. Right? Read on.
And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with great power and glory.
Right.
In his angels, and shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from the uttermost parts of the earth to the uttermost parts of heaven.
Right. So he said he will gather together his elect. Who's his elect? Yeah, prove it. Here's my proof. I'm on. Isaiah 45, verse 4. That's right. That proves who the elect is. We gotta prove it. Burden of proof is on us. We the ones standing in protest against everybody and everything. Well, let's read that scripture first.
What, 45?
Yeah, 45.
4.
And 4.
Isaiah chapter 45, verse 4.
Uh-huh.
For Jacob's my servant's sake, and Israel my elect.
Right, and Israel my elect. Right to the point. Ari? Right, that's where we at, Mark 13:27. That's what we just read.
Isaiah 45.
Right, no, we went from Mark and went back to Isaiah to prove what Mark is saying. The elect part. But somebody might say the elect, oh, that's anybody that calls on Christ, right? So you got to prove who is the elect, right? That is talking about in Mark. And that's why you go to Isaiah to prove who that elect is. You know what I mean? So, so that the scripture is all one. Or one understanding. Okay, so the understanding is, let's finish, let's go back to Ezekiel. I think we finished. Was it 28 verse?
Yeah.
Wait,
Wait,
this 20 verse?
in Ezekiel,
Yeah.
you got to go to 28, but I'm only at 21, I think.
21? Okay, let's finish Ezekiel, sir. Back to Ezekiel
37.
37.
No, 22. Ezekiel 37 verse 22.
Okay.
And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel.
Right?
And one king shall be king of them all.
Come on.
And they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all.
Right?
Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols,
Right?
nor with their detestable things,
Right?
nor with any of their transgressions.
Right, so what? They're not going to be living like Gentiles anymore. Okay? All that idols and detestable things that they were dealing with gave them that Gentile mentality. They're not going to be Gentiles anymore. They're going to be Hebrews again. Israelites. Israelites mean, when you say you're Israelite, that means you're a family of the man Israel. That's what you're saying. I'm a descendant of the man Israel. That's what it means when you say you're Israelite. That don't mean I'm born in the land of Israel. It means I'm a descendant of the man Israel. I'm part of his family, his lineage. Okay? So you're no longer a heathen or a Gentile, but now you are in Israel. Right?
But I will save them out of all their dwelling places, wherein they were sinned, wherein they have sinned,
right?
And will cleanse them. My people, and I will be their power. And David, my servant, shall be king over them.
Right?
And they all shall have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgments, and observe my statutes, and do them. And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob my servant, wherein my fathers have dwelt.
Go on.
It's like wherein your fathers have dwelt. Dwell therein, even they and their children, and their children's children forevermore.
For how long?
Forever.
That's right, forever. This is a forever blessing that's upon Israel. We don't?
And my servant David shall be their prince forever.
Right? Forever. All right? Meaning what our kings, our the descendant of David, which is Hamashiach Yahushua, the next king in line, is going to be forever, man. Right? That's how we're going to live forever. All right? So this is the blessing and the promise from the Most High Yah. Come on. All right. So one more scripture before we wrap it up. Give me Joel. Joel 3, that was 17.
Joel chapter 3, verse 17. So shall ye know that I am the Most High your power, dwelling in Zion,
right?
My holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall be no and there shall no strangers pass through her anymore.
Right.
And it shall come to pass in that day that the mountains shall drop down new wine, and the hills shall flow with milk,
right? And
all the rivers of Judah shall flow with the waters, and a fountain shall come forth of the house of the Most High, and shall water the valley of Shittim.
Right.
Egypt shall be a desolation,
right?
And Edom shall be a desolate wilderness.
That's right. Egypt and Edom will be a desolate wilderness. Meaning what? They're going to have no more power, no more at all. All right. but it's going to be Israel now established. We're going to be watering the earth. Mean that what? We're going to give the earth what it needs. All right, out of Jerusalem. Read on.
For the violence against the children of Judah.
For the what?
Violence against the children of Judah.
For all the violence that we suffered as a people. Come on.
Because they have shed innocent blood.
They have done what?
Shed innocent blood.
That's right. Black Lives Matter. Unarmed. Right? All these things that we're yelling out. The Most High hears it. All right. That's why when we're going to establish our kingdom, don't y'all be feeling sorry for the nations, trying to hide them or something like that. You got a couple of Edomites hidden in your house because you don't want this thing to go down this way. All right. I always liked Stephanie. She was always good to me. She was always good to me. Right?
I can't say no slaves.
Right? What?
I can't say no slaves.
No, you can't hide them.
No.
If it's time for them to get slaughtered, they get slaughtered. You gonna get a slave, then the Most High give it to you. All right? Don't try to get your own slave. All right? Don't build your own slaves if I don't get my own. That's Israel right there. Try to think ahead of time. Right? No, I'm gonna stash my slave from now. Don't touch my slave. No. The Most High will give it to you, you're gonna have it. Other than that, you better go. Right? We don't.
Against the children of Judah. They have shed in their land.
Mm-hmm.
Forever.
For how long?
Forever.
For how long?
Forever.
Forever. Ever. Come on.
And Jerusalem from generation
Come on.
to cleanse their blood that I have not cleansed.
Right?
Dwelleth in Zion.
For the Most High in his beats, the power of my son Jacob, do it forever. What do we have? Well, we have so many. I need it, right? It was back this year, right? But
San Diego.
People Summit, you know what I mean? We'll be out there. January the 18th through the 21st. January 18th through the 21st, the Hebrew Summit will be hosted by our brothers out in California, the Sakari, led by Brother Alazar, known as Gorilla Hebrew, right? By him and his camp. You know what I mean? We'll be out there in San Diego starting on the January 18th. If anybody wants to make that run and the side, you know, you got it like that, yo, jump on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go represent what it means for Israel to come back together. What else we got coming up? Did we get a date yet for Hero?
What you put down, Tell me all what you wrote down. February 7th.
I was on the board. What's that on the board? 27th and 28th. All right, Purim, January 27th. I'm sorry, February 27th and 28th. Put it in your calendar, but lock it in your phone. Okay. You got Nicanor there?
Yeah. Nicanor is the 27th. We got Purim for the 28th. I don't know how.
Nicanor 27th?
Yeah.
Okay, Nicanor 27th and Purim is 28, 29.
Yeah.
Because Purim is 2 days. Okay. Okay. So from the 27th straight back to the 29th, the straight celebration in amongst the congregation. We'll have events all 3 nights. You know how we do. All right. So come out, enjoy. What's the next new moon? Put that date up there.
Oh, you can't write that up there.
All right. Gotta put that up there always. We just had new moon.
Yeah, I've been looking at the moon.
So
Might be the 16th, January. January 16th.
it might be the 16th. What are you looking at? Your app?
Yeah.
You got a 16th also?
That evening?
Okay. So you can technically put it down for the 16th. January 16th, new moon. All right, have these dates, save these dates. You know what we do? We come together in glorious way, always glorifying the Most High's high holy days. Who's going to do it? All right? So it's the burden is on us to make it all that it is. And and the Most High is great, therefore his feasts are great, right? So we're gonna make sure that they're glorified in like manner. Any other announcements? I think that covers it. All right. Hallelujah. No announcement.
Just support the group. I remember to be school and video for this upcoming summer.
Before what? I'm sorry.
For the upcoming summer, we're trying to put together an album.
Okay, I'm a video before that. Yeah, support our LOZ music group. The music has been going well. If you don't have any of the music, make sure you get it. Ask the brother and they'll give it to you. They'll get it to you. Nowadays, everything is downloaded, and so they'll upload or download it, which way you'll receive it. All right, support the music movement, because what is a people without their music? Every people has a music. Righteous people, so we gotta have a righteous music. All right, we don't need to be driving around listening to Nicki Minaj and the rest of these jokers and what they gotta say. All right, we be out of that world. All right, so we support the music movement as well. And he said they're doing the videos, so well, what way do you need support?
Donations is what we do here.
Okay.
Right.
All right, put it on an envelope. If you want to, when you put your envelope in the box, if you want to put a portion of your donation to the music group, just put that down on the envelope, so that we know, okay, these funds go to the music group, so that they have what they need to produce, good music. All right, because we're gonna make it towards the Most High. It can't be shabby, right? You got to be tight work, right? The Most High he requires that of us. The Most High got to be your best. Right. So do the Most High work, we do our best, and we deliver a great product. In the name of the Most High, yeah. When it comes to publishing the word, it can be published written, musically, but the word can be published so many different ways. Cars, you can publish the word so many different ways. All right. All right. Imagine upon your rush and stand and face Jerusalem. So the prayers onto the Holy Land is Israel. God, blessing the Akim Wa'agwathi, the brothers and sisters, and ask the Most High to have mercy upon us. Imagine what Panya Yerushalayim stand and face Jerusalem. Hallelujah.
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 Who's the power?
Yahweh's power.
Who's the power?
Yahweh's power.
By Hashem?
Yahushua.
By Hashem?
Yahushua.
Kudas, kudas, kudas.
Kudas, kudas, kudas.
Kudas, kudas, kudas.
Kudas, kudas, kudas.
Holy, holy, holy.
Holy, holy, holy.
Is the name.
Is the name.
Of Noah.
Abanawa.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Holy, holy, holy.
Holy, holy, holy.
Is the name.
Is the name.
Mashiach.
Mashiach.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Come Abanawa Yahweh.
Who Abanawa Yahweh?
Come Abanawa Yahweh.
Who Abanawa Yahweh?
Come Mashiach Yahushua.
Who Mashiach Yahushua?
Come Mashiach Yahushua.
Who Mashiach Yahushua?
Come Yeshurala.
Who Yeshurala?
Come Yeshurala.
Who Yeshurala?
Rakatha Yahweh.
Rakatha Yahweh.
Bahashem.
Bahashem.
Mashiach.
Mashiach.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Hawa'ah.
Hawa'ah.
Noah.
Noah.
Shabbat.
Shabbat.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Bakushah.
Bakushah.
Shemai.
Shemai.
Kapalalim.
Zabalayim.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapah.
Rapah.
Rakazak.
Rakazak.
Ramagan.
Ramagan.
Mashma'ayah.
Mashma'ayah.
Akim. Wah. Akwathia. Babakushah. Yehovah. Ba'ashem. Mashiach. Yahushai. Yochak. Shaitan. Yochak. Shaitan. Yochak. Kol. Rai. Rahim. Yochak. Kol. Rai. Rahim. Babakushah. The power of Abraham and Jacob, for his mercy truly endured forever. We thank thee, Yahweh. Today, we thank Yahweh for all the souls in this room. We thank Yahweh for all the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that we have received from thy holy word. And we ask you to continue to bless us. Continue to keep thy little sanctuary of War Heart to Zion, the light of Zion, in good graces, under the protection of thy angels. Be merciful upon us, and forgive us for our sins and our transgressions. Hold not our iniquity against us, and blot out all evil deeds from amongst our members. Heavenly Father, we thank thee that we continue to bless thy high and holy name. And now the spirit of healing unto all Israel. Bless those who are in need of healing. Anyone that have infirmities in their bodies and in need of healing, bless them and protect the children of Israel. All those that are, that call upon thy name in these last days. All this we ask in the name of thy Son, Hamashiach Yahushua. Let all that have breath praise Yahweh. Hallelujah. Let all that have breath praise Yahweh. Hallelujah. Bahashem Hamashiach Yahushua. Dwelleth in Yah. Amen. Amen. The Most High hand. Hallelujah. In the mouth of babes, Yahweh perfected praise. In the mouth of babes, praise in the mouth of babes. Perfected praise in the Yahweh perfected praise in the mouth of babes. Yahweh perfected praise in the mouth of babes. Yahweh perfected praise. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Come on down. In the mouth of babes. Yahweh perfected praise in the mouth of babes. Yahweh perfected praise in the mouth of babes. Yahweh perfected praise. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Glory, 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 glory. Glory, hallelujah, hallelujah. Yahweh like to be Yahweh. Our enemies are fallen right before our feet. Glory, glory, hallelujah, hallelujah, yeah. Would like to be Yahweh. Our enemies are fallen right before our feet. No more sin. Glory, glory, hallelujah, hallelujah. Our enemies are fallen right before our feet. There's no power like Yahweh. Praise King of the universe. Always doing what has been. Say all is well.
Amen. Hallelujah. 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 Amen. Amen. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. You are God. One. Two. I say three. Four. Father, wake up. Five. And reality. It's nationality. Six. It's Friday. Shalom. So is there anything new? You need what, January 1st? I go back to work.
When I get on strong, man, I'm trying to like make you in with these drivers. I'm trying to do that.
Please, please.
They don't know the fact that you already got a voice. I'm gonna send you some links.
Shalom, Israel. Most High in Hamashiach bless you.
Out of there, bro. Quit ASAP. I'm ASAP.
You wouldn't mind doing that?